we learned about highest common factor and lowest common multiple. In this lesson, we will practice a quicker and simpler way to find the HCF and LCM. Let's start to find our highest common factor and lowest multiple of two numbers. You've got a 12 and 44. Then, before, when we found our HCF and LCM, we found all the factors and all the multiples, then we compared and found the common multiples and common factors, then figured it out which one is the highest number and which is lowest number. It was a long process. Let's think about easy way to find the HCF and LCM. I'm going to introduce a method called the ladder method. And we also talk about the prime factors. So ladder method will use the prime factors. Let's have a look. Before you start to use the ladder method, write down the two numbers first, then draw the L shape. Then what you need to do is think about prime factor of the two numbers. Now, let's see. 2 is the common prime factor of 12 and 44. Then 12 goes into 12 6 times. 2 goes into 44 22 times. Now, draw the L shape again, thinking about the prime factor of 6 and 22. That is 2 again. 3 times 2 is 6. 11 times 2 is 22. Now, think about the common prime factor of 3 and 11. No, we can't find anymore. That means we need to stop here. Then, HCF, highest common factor, is you need to times the number on the vertical side. HCF is 2 times 2. That gives you 4. Because the highest common factor is the number you can divide into 12 and 44. That's why 4 is the biggest number of them, right? Then, when it comes to the lowest common multiple, LCM, what you need to do is you draw the big L shape because it has got L there. Then you times all the numbers alongside with the L shape. So 2 times 2 times 3 times 11. Then you've got a 4 times 33. That gives you 132. So now we found the highest common factor and the lowest common multiple 12 and 44 very quickly using our ladder method. Then this time we're looking for HCF and LCM of 3 numbers. If you use the ladder method, we can find 3 numbers and 4 numbers as well. So let's write down the numbers first. 10, 18, and 24. And then thinking about our common prime factor of 3 number, that is 2. 2 into 10, 5. 2 into 18, 9. 2 into 24, 12. Now, here, let's think about what is the common prime factor of 5, 9, and 12. We can't find anymore, right? Then we need to stop here because we already found our HCF. That is 2. But we haven't found our LCM, so we need to carry on our ladder method. This time, to find the LCM, if you can see common prime factor of any two number, then you can carry on. So let's see. We focus on only 9 and 12. What is the common prime factor of these two numbers? That is 3. Then 3 can divide into 5, so you just copy down the 5. Then 3 into 9, 3 times. 3 into 12, 4. Then let's see, can you see any common prime factor? No? Now we can stop, right? Then how can you find your LCM? Draw the big L shape and times all together. 2 times, 3 times, 5 times, 3 times, 4. Then let's see, 2 times 3 is 6, and 5 times 4 is 20, 20 times 3 is 60. So our lowest common multiple of 3 number is 360. Now, this will be our last practice. So let's find the HCF and LCM of 12, 30, 72 by using ladder method. So write down the number first, then thinking about the common prime factor of 3 number. That is 2, and 2 into 12, 6. 2 into 30, 15, 2 into 72, 36. Now let's think about a common prime factor of 3 number. That is 3, then 3 into 6, 2, and 5, and 12. Then let's double check with, I think we can't find the common prime factor of 3 number. Then we need to stop and then find the HCF, highest common factor of 3 number is 2 times 3 vertical side of the number times all together, that is 6. But we need to carry on to find our LCM. So see, can you see any common prime factor of 2 number? 2 and 12. So 2 into 2, 1. So carry down the 5, then 6 times. Think about the 3 number. We can't find any common prime factor. So now draw the big L shape, then times them all together. Now let's calculate our LCM. That is 2 times 3 times 2 times 5 times 6. So let's see, we've got a 6 and then 10 and 6, 60. It gives you 360 is our LCM and HCF is 6. Now let's practice more questions that use LCM or HCF. So when you read question, always think about whether the question asks you to find the LCM or HCF. So what is the smallest number that 2, 3, 6, 10 will go into? Exactly, it doesn't give you any remainder, and then you need to find the smallest number. That is, what is this? Is the LCM or HCF? That is the lowest common multiple. Lowest common multiple, so 2, 3, 6, and 10. Now let's use our ladder method, 2, 3, 6, and 10. Then thinking about lowest common multiple, then I think we can't find any common prime factors of all 4 numbers. But don't worry, because we are looking for LCM. We can see at least 2 number has got a common prime factor. That is 2, 6, and 10. So that is 2. So now carry down 3, then 2 into 6, 3, and into 10, 5. Then thinking about it, I think we can use 3, 3 as a common prime factor. Then carry down 5. So draw the big L, then times them all together is 2 times 3 times 5. That gives you 6 times 5, 30. So the smallest number that divided by 2, 3, 6, 10 without remainder is 30. Next question. So find the smallest number which leaves a remainder of 1 when divided by 6, 8, or 15. This time you need to find the smallest number, but it has got a remainder. But you need to think about it. If there's no remainder when you divide it by 6, 8, 15, what is this all about? That means you need to find the LCM, lowest common multiples of 6, 8, 15, right? Then once you find your LCM of 3 numbers, what you need to do is just add 1, because 1 is the remainder. So let's find our LCM of 3 numbers, 6, 8, 15. Then common prime factors of 6 and, let's start by 6 and 8, 2 goes into 3 times 4, then carry down the 15. Then you can divide 3 and 15 by 3, 1, copy down the 4, then 5, then draw the L shape, and then find the LCM of the 3 number is 2 times 3 times 4 times 5. That is 6 times 20, so 120 is LCM of the 3 number. But make sure what you need to do, you need to add 1, because in order to have a remainder of 1. So your smallest number is 121. If you want to double check with it, let's divide 121, divide by 6, then it's 20, remain 1, and 121 divide by 8, that is 15, remainder 1, and then 121 divided by 15, That is 8 remains 1. So now we see that our answer is 121. Now, what is the largest number that goes exactly into 90, 210, and 300? So let's focus on our keyword. Largest number goes into. That means, is it LCM or HCF? It's HCF of 90, 210, and 300. If you don't understand why this is HCF of 3 number, that means read the question again. You need to looking for the number. You divide into 90, divide into 210, divide into 300. Then these are the factors of the 3 numbers, right? That's why this is HCF. Let's use our ladder method. Common prime factor of these 3 numbers is 2. 45, just halving it of all the numbers. Then let's see, I think we can get 5, 9, 21, and 30. Then 3 can be the number. 3, 7, 10. Then I think we need to stop here. We can't find any more. Then we are looking for the highest common factors, all the numbers alongside the vertical line. So that is 2 times, 5 times, 3 makes 30 is the biggest number you can divide into all 3 numbers. Now, what is the smallest positive number that can be divided exactly by 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8 without a remainder? So again, let's double check our keyword, smallest number. Then you can divide by these numbers. It will be the big number. Now, let's think about, you've got a number, then you divide the number by 2, divide by 3, divide by 4, 6, and 8. That means, is it LCM or HCF? Yes, it's LCM because you're looking for the multiples of 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8, right? So now you've got a 5 number, but once we use our ladder method, it's no problem, right? Think about any prime factors. 2 goes, well, we can't put the 2 inside the 3, so just copy down the 3, and then 2, 3, 4. Let's say any prime factor, 2, copy down 1, copy down 3, then 1, copy down 3, 2. You can put 2 inside the 4. Then let's do it with the 3. Copy down 1, 1, 1, 2. Now I think we found everything. LCM, draw the big L shape and times all the numbers. So LCM of these numbers are 2 times 2 times 3 times 2. That is 4 times 6 is 24 is the number you can divide by all of these numbers. Now I'm thinking about 2 different numbers that goes between 100 and 200 inclusive. That means you include 100 and 200. It can be 100 and 200 as well. Now we are also, this is 2 numbers, so we write down x and y. The highest common factor, so HCF of my 2 number is, don't know yet because it says this is the same as the lowest common multiples of 8 and 10. That means we need to find the LCM of 8 and 10 first. The LCM of 10 and 8 is a HCF of our number. Okay, now let's find the LCM of 8 and 10. That is, I think we can find it very quickly. That is 40, right? So if you can find it very quickly, then you don't need to use the ladder method. So it's 40. Then that means 40 is the highest common factor of our unknown to number. Then what we can do is we need to think about it. So you've got a x and y. Let's use the ladder method. That means times all the numbers alongside the vertical side. That is a 40 because it's HCF. So now we found the highest common factor of 2 number, and that is 40. Then now think about it. You've got a factor, right? Then if you want to make the number using factor, you always times factors together make the number, right? Then, now since 40 is the highest common factor of two numbers, that means you can think about multiples of 40s. Then that could be x or y as well. So let's write down the multiples of 40 first. That is these numbers. That we need to check the numbers that goes between 100 and 200. That is 120, 160, and 200. Now thinking about it, 120 is 40 times 3, 160 is 40 times 4, 200 is 40 times 4. So you can see all the numbers has got a 40 as a factor, right? That's why we can say we found all the numbers, but the question is asking you to find the two different numbers, so you can make the different pair, right? So it can be 120 and 160. That your two number can be 160 and 200, and your number can be 120 and 200. So all of them can be the answer. Okay, now this is the end of this lesson, and as always, thank you for your focus, and I will see you at the next lesson. Bye!